And we are live. Welcome back to another episode of the Mecca of Banter podcast. I am your host this weekend, Nick Haflinger. As always, you can find me on Twitter at Hafy4. And let me start off by saying, gentlemen, it is a great week to be any other fan besides United right now because they're the only ones on this podcast who did not come away with 3 points. Henry, we are happy to have you here today. I love this weekend of the Prem. I'm happy it's back. We also have a lot to talk about when it comes with St. Louis City. So I'm really excited for this episode. But let me introduce you guys to the fellas, and I'll kick it right on over to that United boy himself, the only one without 3 points this week, Mr. Henry Wind. How are we doing, brother?
Or this season, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. I forgot. Sorry.
Hey. Hated, adored, never ignored. You know what I'm saying? It's a great week to be a Manchester United fan. Here's the deal, fellas. There are weeks that your teams come away with 0 points, and it's like the world's fucking ending, and we come away with 1 point, and just all the pile up. I can't even imagine if I came away with 0 points. So I'll take 1 point is what it is. I will say, coming into this Monday, I had a real plan for how this podcast was going to go tonight. And then, right around fucking whatever time, 11 o'clock this morning, it just got punched in the face. So we have a lot to talk about tonight. We have a lot to dive into. Couldn't be happier to be here with y'all.
Happy to have you, Henry. I love the days when United fans are pumped for 1 point, but we will move on over to winning ways. Let's start it off with Mr. Winkleman. How are we doing, Mike?
What's up, fellas? Good weekend. No, happy to see you guys. Happy that we don't have another 007 on our hands for the Arsenal. Man, it was a long weekend though. I feel like we haven't, even though we had this podcast, a week ago, I feel like it's been a long time since we've done it. So I'm happy to see you guys. Happy to have the mustache man himself here for this one too.
Absolutely. I think that's a great transition into Mr. Bucci Main. How we doing?
I'm great, fellas. I'm super happy to Hoob's got a great mustache.
I just don't have one. I mean, it's okay. He can be the mustache man.
Wait for the next transition. I was gonna add you in there, Hoob.
Mr. Mustache, Mr. MCL, whatever you want to call him.
Call
whatever you want.
All the above.
What a weekend for me, man. For those listening, scrimmaged with the high school boys, hit a 45-yard piss rocket, bar down, got a standing ovation. Next play, torn MCL.
It's the high
one of my own players accidentally went studs to the knee, so that wasn't fun, but it was an accident. And
did you give him a card?
No.
Call him Anthony Gordon out here.
He's running though.
He's running
though. You can bet your ass he's running and running and running.
Kid's a great kid too, so he felt bad, but I'm super happy to be here with you guys. I'm glad I was able to make it from practice and be on with y'all and talk some footy, and it's good to see all your faces, man.
When you sent us that text that like one of your players did it, I was like, I bet he went home and absolutely threw up. Like he is gonna be like, I don't know, embarrassed probably, but I'm like, he probably is hating himself right now.
Well,
stressing
today,
about if he's going to play now.
Oh, God.
Well, the kid's a great player, and today at practice, like we talked, and he feels terrible. I said, dude, it was an accident. Like, things happen, and I'm a 30-year-old man playing with high school guys in a full, intense scrimmage. Like, if I get hurt, I get hurt. Like, no one's trying to hurt anybody.
Was he?
Huh?
Or was he?
I hope not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I hope not, but the goal made up for it. It was fun, so I'm just happy to be here.
Well, we are happy to have you. I'm also happy you're in somewhat good spirits because, boy, was it a close one at St. James Park today for you guys. But certainly not least, and someone who has just as good of a mustache as Mr. Butchie Man. Mr. Hoover, how are we doing?
Excellent, lads. Just another day in the life. 6 points on the season so far. Still have Man City's number, which is just the most Tottenham thing to ever happen.
Insane.
Finished 17th last year, but rock up to the Etihad in their own gaff, 4-0 with under Ange, 2-0 under. It looked even more comfortable than the 4-0 game. I mean, 100%. It was a cakewalk, which is genuinely hilarious to me. Excellent stuff, so much. I don't even really have thoughts yet on the St. Louis City action. So you're getting like the full-blown live, like you're going to watch my brain work in real time about what's happening. Completely off the cuff here. So, looking forward to it, though. Happy about it.
Absolutely. And as always, we are happy to have you, Mr. Hoove. And it is for some strange reason that you guys consistently have City's number. Obviously, we'll talk about that later.
It's hilarious. I texted Jacob Krupp so many times this weekend. He didn't respond once. It was so funny.
And like, you think it was just like the coach, or it could have just been the manager, but like, nope, new manager comes in, same thing, same result.
It was Jose. It was
must just have
Ange.
something wrong with Spurs. He got blackmail or something. I don't know. There might be.
Everyone has that bogey
team,
team, you know, like
everyone's got a bogey team.
Yeah, for Winks last year, what was it, like Bournemouth twice? For us last year, it was every team that we played. It was, you know,
same.
It's what it is.
Well, ours
great week to be a Manchester United fan.
last year, bro.
Yeah, it's
Forest, man.
Yeah.
Yes, we all have that bogey team. But before we get into the spiciness that was the Prem this weekend, we have a bombshell / huge news that we need to discuss in the St. Louis City realm. As we all know, we are all from St. Louis, so this is unfortunately a St. Louis City podcast, or has to cover some of St. Louis City. But as most of you guys may already know, the big bombshell is our sporting director, Lutz, has been let go. He is officially no longer our sporting director. St. Louis City came out this morning and announced that they are parting ways, and we are on the hunt for a new sporting director. Boys, obviously this is huge. The game this weekend was by no means, I think, good for Lutz in any way, shape, or form. We fell to Vancouver 3-2, and I just want to get your guys' thoughts on obviously this big news and the game that happened this weekend and how much that could have impacted this decision.
Well, first of all, I think this is honestly a justified decision, because if you look at when Carnell got fired, Lutz had this huge press conference and said, we're going in a different path. And we trusted that path with him leading things. And where has that taken us since? Like, that has taken us nowhere. Like, he brought in a guy that Olaf, who struggled. His style didn't fit this league. He struggled immensely. And then we haven't hired anybody since. We've had Critchley at the Realm. He hasn't done anything. Like, Lutz asked us to trust him with choosing after Carnell, and he chose it completely incorrectly, in my opinion. And he kind of set this up for himself, in my opinion. That's all my bias, and my decisions. But you guys may agree or disagree.
I don't disagree with that at all. Like, I mean, I think there's a couple of things that can be true at the same time. I think, Butch, exactly what you said is true. He asked us to trust him. This is like the third season now where we haven't seen it come to fruition. I mean, the main criticism has been roster construction. Say what you want about the first season and the accolades that we got. After the League's Cup break, we were horrible. So like we had a great first half of the season. We were terrible the second half. We were terrible in the playoffs. All last year we were bad. All this year we've been bad. So the main criticism has been true. And Butch, what you said is exactly right. He asked us to trust him. And so far that trust has run out. I'm just like, Vancouver was the icing on the cake, bro. We got fucked in that game. We got screwed over so bad in that game. So 2 penalties that weren't penalties, and
one
then
of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life.
The other goal also wasn't a foul. The guy tripped over himself then, and then they scored off the free kick. So it's like that's the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, it wasn't any of the other performances. And so, like, everyone has their own thoughts, what's going on behind the scenes. And apparently there's been like a pretty massive fallout between Lutz and then the front office staff, which I believe that for sure. Yeah. And part of me, I'm like outside earlier, like mowing the grass, being like, what the fuck happened? Like thinking about it. And I also wonder if somewhere along the lines that Lutz maybe he's a scapegoat for the lack of accolades that we're having this season. And I'm also so curious, directly after the transfer window closes, like, was Lutz out there trying to get deals for guys, trying to bring guys in, and then Carolyn, Kindle, and co are not willing to spend the money on the players to bring the right people in, but then Lutz has to be the face of it? Like, I don't know. There's a lot to be said, but everything that you're saying, I agree with. Like, we're in a results business, ladies and gentlemen, and the results haven't been good. Only worry is we are now going into 2020, like the 2025-2026 season, or I guess the 2026 season rather. No head coach, no sporting director, all sorts of contracts being out the window. Like, there's just no plan, no direction, no anything. So I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
Rebuild.
And to And it's a full rebuild. Like we're ground zero.
I was gonna say we're at
here.
the studs. We tore this thing down to the studs.
I think we can go ahead and just acknowledge that Lowen, Klaus, and Berkey are gone. That's like, even if there was concern on our end, which there was previously this summer, that they would be gone anyway, that's locked in. The fact that this Diego guy, the president of operations or whatever his title is, he was apparently a pretty big factor in the Olaf interviews and discussions in bringing in Olaf, who apparently just flat out lied to them about everything in the interview, which is fine. I do the same thing if I'm interviewing for jobs. I get that, but that's the job of the interviewer, is kind of see past some of that and figure out what actually is real. It sounds like this guy's kind of clueless too. Like, I think Lutz is definitely the fall guy. The timing tells me that he could have maybe saved his job with a good transfer window, but you're so right about he's not the one with the finances in this. He's the one that identifies the talent, brings in, has the conversations, and then the finances come from higher up. And Carolyn Betts definitely mentioned that there was continued investment in the squad over the last year or so, which, if there was, it wasn't much. We're not talking like a ton of cash injection here for big time players. So that's weird. I don't feel good about where we're at. And obviously, I think we all agree that this needs to happen. If we're going to do it, that's fine. I'm okay with it being now, because it's going to take forever to get a new sporting director. This Diego guy's contradicted himself, though, already in multiple interviews. So where John Hackworth's available for, if John Hackworth wants to interview for the head coaching position, he's available. But we wanted to get a sporting director in first. So we're already looking at, Hackworth is co-sporting director and City 2 head coach and technical director. Like, none of it makes sense. I'm extremely concerned about how the club's being run at the moment. And it was, dude, we were the first to say, in Lutz we trust. And we said that till it was backwards, and it is backwards now.
Yeah, 100%. I was gonna say right hand up accountability right there.
Bro.
I was for sure in Lutz we trust, and now
I wasn't even Lutz out this morning.
I wasn't either.
Like, I wasn't Lutz out yesterday.
No. Yeah,
dude, I'm gonna add on to that too. What Hoove just said, the club's in absolute shambles. So I'm thinking youth right now, our youth academy. If I'm a youth player, would I really want to play for STL City Academy right now, knowing that we're going to be bad for a while?
Like, what I don't understand is, like, the City 2 team is the best academy in the country right now. They've been unbeaten in like 15 straight matches. We've always had City 2 figured out. Like, from the moment City 2 became a thing, we've had deep runs into the playoffs. I forgot if it was last year or the year before. We played in like the championship game or whatever it was for the cup. We lost, but like, we're dogs in City 2. So it's like, Hackworth does that. He's been doing that for like 2 of the 3 years that we've been dogs, and Critchley was doing it at the front half of the year. So it's like, what's the drop off? And I know that you can't just stick a City 2 team out against an MLS side. I know that. I'm not suggesting that, but I'm like, to have the philosophy that we do at City 2, and it works not flawlessly, but it's working really well.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. I have no idea.
Yeah. I think it's just like if I'm a youth kid, and like, if you're trying to get there, you don't want to play.
Are you campaigning for kids to play high school? Is this a public campaign?
Drop the academies. Go back to public schools.
I see your game right now.
No.
Hand up accountability. Is this a public claim for a guy?
No. I'm just speaking about our home club, man, our home city club. Like, I'm just saying, I don't know when we're going to be good again. And I think people want to win. People want to compete for something, not just compete to say you're in the league when we're sitting dead last. Actually, LA Galaxy's dead last, but they're friggin' MLS Cup champs, and they had a bad year. Okay, cool. They just won the league. So this is 2 years in a row where we've been almost dead last. So something's got to change, man. It's just,
it's bad.
Yeah, I think the timing's quite interesting, though. Like Hoover was saying, like,
Definitely
I was not
weird.
expecting it this morning, and when I heard it from you guys, I was shocked. I will say, obviously, I don't think this is the reason or the ending straw, but I said it in our group message. After this Vancouver game, and especially the way how it ended, which, like, we didn't even, we kind of touched on it, but like, a horrendous call in extra time to call a PK for Vancouver for the game in the wind. Lutz was on the field like immediately after the game, laughing and dapping up Thomas Mueller and like joking with him. And I just was like, it gave me the ick. Like, it wasn't like I was pissed off because obviously he's probably friends with them. They're both German. They probably have a connection somewhere. They're probably in conversations. But like, our team just lost a close game. It was an awful call by the referee, and the sporting director of our team is then seen on TV laughing with the opposing captain on the other team. I just, for some reason to me, it didn't sit right with me. Obviously, I don't think that's the main reason he was let go, but like, I 100% got a nick after that game just by seeing that alone.
I agree, Nick. I think, I mean, if something happens like that, like, you won't catch me laughing. Like, you won't catch you, like, no. Like, if we get screwed over, best believe I'm in the ref's face demanding answers. Like, I'm not going to be dapping up some homie and that's from Germany with me and be like, hey, man, like, great to see you, bruv.
Yeah.
Like, no. No, weird. I'd say you can kiss my sweet ass. Like, that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that was you can go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, it's just also unfortunate because, like, we didn't deserve to lose that game. Obviously, like, Twitter about had a meltdown, and I was appreciative that it wasn't a meltdown just from St. Louis City fans. Like, there is a lot of support from a lot of other fan bases about how we got screwed over. But, like, if you ask me, we did pretty well that game. Our defense was solid. Yeah. Like, we scored goals. Like, I mean,
there were some moments I thought we were hanging on, like hanging on.
Our first goal was great. Our first goal was so good. And then the second goal is just everything you could ever ask of João Klaus. Sangbin turned into prime Gareth Bale. Hey, it was great. Like,
no 007 for Sangbin. I love it, baby. I love it.
But then, yeah, the 3 goals, like, and truthfully, like, none of them are bad defense. None of them are defensive breakdowns. None of them are like, oh, Berkey wishes he has that one back. Like, none of them are like that. So it's like, it's so disappointing. Like, I was pissed that we lost that game. I wasn't pissed at the team though. I was like, what an injustice. Like, this is so fucked up. I don't know. And I was like, hey, we actually kind of like looked better that game. That was fine. And so, yeah, I was super confused with the timing. Paige was the one that told me. She like came running in my office and was like, did you look at your phone? And I was like, no. She told me. I didn't believe her. So I like pulled up a bunch of stuff myself. I was like, this is crazy. But now what? Like, I'm sitting here saying, now what? I agree in the philosophy that you need a sporting director before you get a head coach. I agree in that. But like, it's, you know, to be honest with you, there's one more season. And if we're not like good next year or seeing major improvements, there's going to be a lot of pressure on the ownership. It's going to turn ugly here in St. Louis because it's like, what else are you going to blame? We blamed Carnell, fired. We blamed Hackworth. He didn't get rehired to the job. We blamed Olaf, fired. Now we blame Lutz, fired. And so it's like, you can only do that so many times before, you know, ownership's got to put up.
You would think that, but then we see it in the Premier League year after year after year. And
dude, we do, bro.
Cough.
I'm already here,
cough,
bro.
cough.
It's year 3, and I'm already fuming with the ownership, dude. Why is it always like this? You always hate the owners, dude.
I mean, I guess part of it is like, you know, you get people who are really wealthy, but they don't know anything about soccer. They don't know anything about the game. They don't know how it's being run. And to be honest with you, Hoover, you brought it up, but this Diego guy, who the fuck is that? Like, what's he doing? What's his pedigree? What's his background? Like, I think that, I don't want to misspeak here, but I'm pretty sure he held like some front of office role in like one of the Premier League teams. Could be wrong. Someone fact check me on
Diego Gigliani. I'm on it.
But like,
Jamie,
what the fuck is he doing? You know, like, yeah, it's just negligence, to be honest with you. And so I don't have any dog in this fight. Unfortunately, I have no idea who the fuck we're going to go after. The one name that I want to see us really pursue is Jim Curtin. He was the head coach at the Philadelphia Union forever. He got fired last year or at the end of the year. And then Carnell came in. He's just a guy who's been there and done that in the MLS. He's still young, so he's not like a Peter Vermees. Like, Jim Curtin is the one name I'll throw forward. But even that, it's a rogue shout. I don't know how.
Why do I have this gut feeling that we're just gonna go with some St. Louis native and it'll be political as fuck?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I have no idea.
I'm on his LinkedIn page. Literally, I'm on his LinkedIn page.
Too.
Let's see.
Keep those
10
views.
plus years at Man City and City Football Group.
I'm saying.
executive leadership team, led City's football group strategy and operations across Europe, Latin America, partner clubs. Prior to that, CFG's media rights, digital, and innovation areas.
Did Diego lie on his
resume? It sounds like this man doesn't actually do much in the sporting world. He just is
operations.
He was just doing operations, strategy, and operations. A highly successful all or nothing Amazon series. None of this is football. So that's awesome.
Crazy.
Sounds like a good actor.
Yeah.
Congrats, dude. Congrats.
I mean,
please don't.
What do you fellas think? Like, what do we do from here? Like, do you think like I'm going to ask a question that's a sincere question, and if you laugh, I understand. Do you think we move quickly on this? Do you think that we get a sporting director and a head coach in? Genuinely, part of me is like, are we even going to get one by February of next year? We still don't have a head coach, and so when Olaf got fired, there had to be conversation of like, hey, maybe Lutz is right behind him. Otherwise, why wouldn't you pull the trigger on a head coach? But this is not just a St. Louis City problem. It is one of my biggest pet peeves in footy is when you fire a head coach or you fire a sporting director and you don't have a backup. Oh my God. It just, as a fan base, you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like it's insane. Insane.
Also, I mean, what top guy's going to want to come to this mess right now?
Literally.
Even when we were playing well, we don't have the city to attract.
I don't know. I have a feeling now it could be a package deal. Like this director wants this coach, and like this coach wants this director.
Very
true. I can totally see that.
We have the best facilities in the league. We have one of the best stadiums in the league. We've got the foundation. We've got some of the best fans in the league. I don't think that's even a question. The foundation is there. You've got to pull talent out of that foundation and grow the club, because that's not happened since July 1st of 2023. It's just not been there. So we're not as undesirable, I don't think, as some may say, but Berkey leaves because Berkey's unhappy, which he understandably could be. You lose your captain. The guys that you hope stick around are, the Kesslers and the Falls that didn't get, completely indoctrinated by the German, literally. It's just like, there's something there. Someone's got to figure it out, though. And I just don't know who that is. I don't know when that is. We're going to take forever. I know for a fact we're going to take forever. Nothing's going to be resolved. We're going to be bad. I think 2 to 3 more years, dude. Like, there's just not anything looking good
I also
at the moment.
think that, like, as much as Lutz was our scapegoat, now they have an even bigger scapegoat of like, oh, this season's kind of over. Oh, we keep losing. We don't have a sporting director or coach. What do you want from us? And it's like,
well, this season is out. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's just like every game that we have from here on out, it's just not going to matter. Like, it's like until the club comes forward and says like, hey, this is the direction, this is where we're going. And even then, if Diego, what the fuck, comes forward tomorrow in a press conference and says, maybe, like if he comes forward tomorrow and says like, hey, this is what we're doing, this is the direction, all of the St. Louis fans have every right to question it. We have every right to say, I'll believe it when I see it. And whatever, like, literally I think there's 7 games left of the regular season, which means there's only 7 games left for us this season because there's no shot in the playoff. But, it's just going to be a media circus for the next 7 weeks. And, I laughed when I saw, I think it was St. Louis Soccer News, I think was the Twitter account today, that said like, the 20 plus St. Louis podcast scrambling to put together an outline for their podcast tonight. I just think that like, yeah, bro, I just think that for the rest of the season, it's just not going to matter. I think this upcoming weekend or maybe it's next weekend, we play at home. It's going to be a really interesting reaction at the stadium to see how the vibe is, what people are saying. It's going to be weird for sure.
Agreed. Well, we are back in action on Saturday against the Houston Dynamo. But now let's move on to something that we can actually enjoy talking about, which is the Premier League. Week 2 of the Prem, and boy, did we have a lot of goals. Goals galore this weekend. Well, for some, not for all. I was going to start it off with the first game of the weekend, which was Friday. Chelsea took on West Ham in the London Derby. Chelsea ended up winning 5-1. The big talk that I wanted to hit on before opening it up to you guys, obviously I can go on and on about this game, was Cole Palmer was injured during warmups, so he was taken out of the starting lineup, and Estevao ended up starting over him. I got a little update. I don't know how true it is. I have to fact check it a little bit more, but what I am seeing is 4 to 6 weeks is what Cole Palmer is going to be out for, and it looks like it's a groin injury.
It's
so
tough.
We'll see how that ends up. Honestly, when I heard this news, I was a little nervous, but also excited because it was going to be an opportunity for. It was interesting when I saw the starting lineup. Sorry, let me backtrack a little bit more. Liam Delap and João Pedro were both starting. We pretty much were going to be playing a 10, or João was going to be pretty much playing a 10 under Liam, and then Cole was going to be playing out on right. Obviously, Estevao came in
First name
for
basis.
Cole.
Huh?
What?
You're on a first name basis with these guys?
Oh, well, I only do it by the one that I can pronounce. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
Estevao.
Estevao. But
that's his only name, right? He's only got one.
Estevao only goes by Estevao.
I'm sure he has
Okay.
like names, so it's like Casemiro has
He's like
names.
a Neymar guy.
Yeah.
Brazilian.
Yeah,
you know
he's
those
got like
Brazilians.
7 names, but one.
Yeah, those Brazilians. But obviously, we talked about it kind of before, but West Ham is not impressive by any means this year, and possibly will get relegated. But I still want to give us some credit because I think our front 3 and pretty much our front 4 with João Pedro was very fun to watch in this game. I think João Pedro filled that role of kind of what Cole Palmer has been doing for us very well. I also thought Liam Delap impressed the shit out of me. I was kind of iffy on him, how he would kind of intertwine with some of these players that we have as far as his hold up play and linking with them. And I thought he did really well in this game. Estevao had an assist to Enzo Fernandez that I thought was beautiful football. I think he's something special as well. Obviously, I'm taking it with a grain of salt because it is West Ham. But seeing 5 goals from this front 4 was very, very, very fun to watch for me. Obviously, I think we scored on 3 corners. So we were taking some notes from Arsenal on that one. And hey, goals are goals. But yeah,
now goals are goals.
God forbid we do it.
Hold on.
I've never been a hater on that.
Hold on. Arsenal fouls on their corners. West Ham's goalie was just dog shit.
Yeah, that's very true what Henry's saying.
If you want to pencil in a game to watch, whenever United plays West Ham, it's going to be hilarious. Neither team can defend corners. It's terrible. I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I watched the highlights. It was insane.
Yeah, completely agree with what Henry was just saying. Also, one of those goals was by Moises Caicedo. Super pumped to see him on the score sheet. He's not really known for getting goals, so him getting on the score sheet in his 100th appearance for us was super awesome, and happy to see him.
This is already his 100th appearance. I don't know why it doesn't feel like it.
Crazy.
Yep. I just want to continue to give that man a shout out because boy is he fun to watch. He's Conte reincarnated. Him and Enzo Fernandez in the midfield. I am so happy that we paid $200 million for them because boy are they worth their price tags now. Took them a little bit, but boy is it fun to watch.
When they're both on
Honestly,
10-year
the last thing I have
contracts,
on
though,
this
they have
is
plenty of time.
What'd you say?
Said it took them a little bit of time, but when they're both on 10-year contracts, it really doesn't matter.
Exactly. It was
Never.
eventually going to pan out, you know. That's what we're learning from this Chelsea strategy that we got going on.
Yeah,
The youngsters will eventually pan out and will be pretty good, is what we're hoping for. But
Or if they don't, you just flip them and sell them for double somewhere else.
Sell them for 75,
absolutely,
whatever.
it's not too bad of a business plan we got going over here. But
It's FIFA.
But the one thing that I did want to end on is I do think Graham Potter is going to be sacked before Chris.
He's not making it to Christmas.
I think
he's also getting no help.
Yeah.
He's getting no help.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like, they're not buying anyone in the transfer window. They're not active at all. Their board is not helping him by any means, but he looks lost. I thought he looked bad when he was our manager and lost, but like he looks way worse than when he was with us. Like every time they panned to him, he had his mouth open and was just like I swear he was staring into space.
Actually.
Like I felt really bad for the dude, but I don't think he makes it to Christmas because West Ham is by no means a good club. I will say Paquetá, what's his name?
His goal was a bomb.
Oh, bang.
Dude, it was insane.
banger, and it was off. It was off of a Esteval turnover, which obviously youngster going to get some more experience out there. But bomb, absolute bomb. Besides that, I thought defensively we played super well. But yeah, that was a bomb.
He had to score, bro. He had to hit his parlay.
Yeah.
He had to hit his parlay, man.
I did not watch this game live. I watched the highlights, but I saw the box score after, and I was like, how did no one talk about that goal? And I was like, oh, because they let it in 5 after that. But it was
a bomb.
It might have been the goal of the weekend. I mean, when it went in,
When it went in, I was very nervous because I was like, oh my gosh, how is this game going to go? Luckily, we scored pretty quickly because I think it would have been one of those games if we didn't get an answer, they could have grown into it. But once we scored that one quickly, they also we scored and then they scored, but it was called offsides. And I was like freaking out when that happened because I was like, are you kidding me? We just scored and gave back the lead immediately. And then we again reacted to the offside after they got the offsides called. We scored with 3 minutes after that one and took the lead. So I was pretty happy with that. I'm hoping we can build some confidence.
Big win. Truthfully, big win for you all as coming off of the tie to Crystal Palace. Obviously, everyone was talking shit on the champions of the world or whatever. I mean, that's just a statement win. Putting in 5 goals, like you said, is never a bad thing, regardless of who you're playing against. So yeah, it has to be a confidence builder, like you said.
I think you guys will you guys will have a good opportunity to sort of replicate that. Looking at your schedule for your September games, I don't see why you guys don't replicate that until you play Liverpool in early October.
Completely agree, and I think that's something I mentioned last week of our schedule to start the season is not crazy. So if we get off to a hot start and build some momentum with these youngsters, I think we could start flying. But we'll see.
It has to be one of the easier first couple months.
But ciao, Pedro. Moving on to in my opinion, could have been game of the weekend. There might be some controversy as far as who thinks their game was better than the others. But in my opinion, Spurs 2, City 0. We talked about it earlier in the episode. Something with this Spurs side that frickin' Pep Guardiola does not like. He just, I don't know what it is, but every time City plays Spurs, I'm almost willing to bet that they are going to win. 2-0 victory, Hoove. How's it feel? Let's get your thoughts.
Dude, it's so ridiculous. Watching Pep's team last week take on Wolves and just dismantle them. And then Spurs, those tricky Tottenham Hotspurs show up and they make them look extremely pedestrian.
Literally all week, me and Dobes were like, City's dangerous. They're going to be insane. Yeah. They're going to be so good. And then comes the weekend and Spurs are like, fuck no, sorry, bro.
Yeah, and they were just mad average. I mean, they obviously had opportunities, but none of them were there. One time, I think Haaland probably should have tucked one, but for the most part, man, I mean, Marmoush had a good chance. Vicario had a great save on it, but just generally pretty pedestrian out of City. I've been obviously all over Twitter on this one, and I did not watch the game because I was at a wedding and woke up late. I rewatched it today. The game plan was perfect. It was genius, and Pep kind of has this asymmetrical build-up style, and they matched up man-to-man. Literally, individual players had individual other players. Mickey Van de Ven was coming to mark Rico Lewis, who was playing that inverted winger. It was insane. The press was so good. Playing out of their press was so good. If you need a guy to score a goal at the back post after ghosting all game, Brennan Johnson's your guy. He's an absolute back post demon. Richarlison, again, really good. He barely got that pass over to him. It's just really, dude, there's not a whole lot else I can say about how good it was. So much more physical than City. I mean, they were sticking every tackle. They were absolutely hammering them all game. Jed Spence, another just lockdown job on the back left. It was awesome, dude. It was so much fun. I think Pape Sarr's slowly working himself into being, a week in, week out number 10. He's not the number 10 that any of us wanted, but he's been extremely serviceable. Forces the missed pass for the second goal. João Paulinho getting his first Spurs net.
Awful mistake.
I mean,
awful mistake from the
awful
keeper.
Mistake. And I think there's definitely we can talk about a couple of these things that Trafford did. Awful mistake for sure. Can't send that pass. If you do send that pass, you've got to send it to the other side. There's just, he can see the defender, to Ruben Diaz's right, and still hits it to his right, and Pepe just picks him off. Like that was insane. His obliteration of Kudus was nuts. And the fact that nothing came out of that it was wild, dude. He was 4 feet outside of his box, clatters him, knee up. Kudus gets to the ball first, and then handles the ball off of his arm to push it out of danger. That was an insane sequence that can't believe nothing came of that. That were 2 individual red card instances that didn't get a call at all. Like VAR looked at it and determined that it was unintentional or something. That was insane. He did not look good by any means. The classic pan to Ederson on the bench right
and
after
then
the
hands
goal.
in his
so
head.
funny.
I was like, oh, that's
yeah. I have a hard time not seeing Ederson start there next.
I don't
game.
understand what he would like. Do they think this guy's the future and they're trying to build his confidence, or like what is going on? Because
I think they get Donnarumma in the next
they're going to
week.
get Donna.
Yeah.
Which I said this, I know Dobes gave me so much shit when I said this the first time, but like I don't think Donnarumma is what they need. Yes, he's great at shot stopping, but
He's
like
a dog.
he once again is one of his downfalls is his feet. And that is what they are trying to find is a goalkeeper who can play in possession with the defense. And I don't know if Donnarumma is that guy.
Nana.
He can't be worse than
Nana.
Trafford.
Yeah,
so
I mean, but why
Trafford's
not
bad.
Ederson? Is there something going on with Ederson that
Personally, I think that Pep over the last 2 years has fallen out of favor, like with Ederson. Like if you look at Ortega, if you look at Ortega over the last 2 years, Ortega played some really big games that typically Ederson would have been the starter. And then over the summer, City made it known that Ederson was available for only 10 million, by the way, which I'm like, why isn't anyone pulling the trigger on that? But I guess he still might go to Fenerbahce or some shit. So they get James Trafford, who was part of their academy, and then they let go, and then they bought him back. So yeah, I think they do see him as the future, but they'll probably go out and sign Donnarumma. Yeah, I mean, I think Ederson starts next game as well, but my guess is Donnarumma will be there at the end of August.
wild to me?
Wild.
Tommy Frank masterclass, though, bro.
Dude,
Tommy Frank
I'm telling you.
Peppa Spank, dude.
It's like it's a good and a bad thing. It's obviously great winning 2 games straight, two straight clean sheets, which I don't think's happened since like 2017. And then the downside of it is that there's no way Daniel Levy's not sitting in the boardroom like, yeah, this is perfect. We don't need anybody else. We don't need better players. This team is actually, if Kudus gets injured this season, gentlemen, this team is officially worse than they were last year. Like that was the only injection of anything that we got out of this summer that would make us better.
Are you going to get that Hincapie?
Who?
Piero Hincapie from Leverkusen?
That'd be sweet.
Dude's
love me an Ecuadorian center
Apparently he's
back.
gonna go to
bro,
Arsenal.
But no, I don't think.
I'm
Word on the street.
He can ride the bench. He won't play.
Who I'm going to say
if he
this
wants
once.
to play, go to Spurs, man. It's easy.
100%.
Easy answer. Go play.
Over Mickey or Kudus?
Well,
Piero
will
can
get
play
hurt,
left
though.
back.
I locked down the
Piero can
spots.
play
Oh,
left
yeah,
back.
that's true.
I
So
was just about to say,
Spencer's been pretty good. I don't know.
I think Spurs center back partnership is one of the best in the Prem.
no,
when
for
fully
sure.
healthy.
Romero's phenomenal. I
I think
love
so, too.
Romero,
Van de Ven, I think, is one of the more underrated center backs when fully healthy.
bro.
I love how fast he
He's
is.
so quick.
But now when I see him like open up full speed, it's like,
You're like worried.
please be
Yeah.
careful.
Yeah.
Dude, like please keep
Yeah.
those hamstrings on bone.
Yep, I never thought I'd ever give that compliment to
psycho,
Romero.
Dude. I love a psychopath.
I love a good. I'm telling you, man. You missed it last week. We were talking about him. Name some of the best center backs there's ever been.
Otamendi, psycho.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Sergio
Ramos, psycho.
the list is long.
Psycho.
Sergio
Extreme
Ramos.
psycho. Possible
Yeah.
serial killer.
Some of the best. Some of the best.
Tony Adams, psycho.
Psycho. You ever heard of
Who?
Eric Bailly? Psycho.
Brexit,
But
psycho.
we're talking about good
Marcus
center
Rojo?
backs.
No, I'm talking
Good
about the
center
GOAT.
back.
Marcus
Marcos
Rojo.
Rojo, bro.
Good
I know,
man.
That's a rogue shout.
I heard the topic. Marcus Rojo, Eric Bailly. They were a
Yeah.
center back partnership, by the way.
Yeah.
For what it's
True.
worth.
United
True.
rejects.
Yeah.
Jeez. Alrighty, moving on to, Winks went blank, but was going to move on to another team who scored 5 goals
Oh
on.
my God,
Boo!
stop. Bro.
Set it well,
Stop,
too.
man.
I
No
set
way.
that no, and I set it up. For those of
There's
you
no
not
way.
listening, Winks, or watching, Winks has put on a Bane mask after the 5-0 win. Arsenal takes down Leeds. Gyökeres finally on the score sheet with 2. Should have had 4, missed some sitters that were like wide open, and I was almost laughing that he was missing them. But nonetheless, 5-0 Winks. How was that performance? Want to get your thoughts?
You merely adopted the dog.
Jesus.
The worst.
How do I sound through this? Do I need to take this off?
No, you actually sound okay.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, just take it off. You sound awful. Horrendous.
Damn, that's a whole mask.
Yeah,
Oh, you had the hat on
unreal.
too.
Unreal.
All right. Hey,
That was good.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
I thought every Arsenal fan was gonna pop a blood vessel when they were all just.
well, hell yeah.
Corner.
When you, thanks for that, Hoop. When you, when any of you guys sign a big striker, like scoring their first goal is a big deal, especially when it was one like that. Like that is the exact kind of play that we've been needing from a striker for the longest time. Like strikers in our recent history would have pulled up there and laid it off backwards or tried to make a cross into the box. But the fact that he took on 2 Leeds defenders, shot it against the grain near side post, it was beautiful. I think that's partially why everybody was so excited. But I think backing up, speaking of strength of schedule, a lot of media outlets before the season seemed to think that we had what they were calling a nightmare start, suggesting we may only get 6 points from our first 6 games. And so the fact that we're already at 6 makes me feel very good, knowing that we had United away at the beginning of the season, who, everybody knew was going to look a lot better. We have Liverpool away still to go, Newcastle away still to go, and then City at home and Leeds at home. But we look like a completely different football club yesterday. I know it's Leeds, newly promoted, but I said it last podcast that this was going to be a 180 turnaround and wouldn't be a boring game to watch, and it was not that. I think between the set piece mastery that we continue to exhibit, whether that is boring or whether that is
no change there.
I'm glad that it's not changing in any other way.
I was just saying,
it gets worse.
You saw a change, but it was a lot of corner goals again.
But out of one Gyökeres moment that he should have
you
scored.
You gotta figure out how to say his name, bro.
I know, dude. I just anytime I read it, it's so hard for me to
go to the first
not
name.
Say
remember?
the G.
Victor.
Yeah, Victor.
Calm Victor.
But outside of one of his chances that he should have finished, our finishing was really good. Was really good all the way around. Having 5 goal contributions from our wingbacks, great. I'll take that.
Timber with a brace. Wow,
dude.
Who has him on fantasy?
I think Todd.
I don't know, but there was 15 users that
He
triple
won-
captained him.
He won the league.
So stupid.
Dude, Calafiori too, man. He
looks good.
He's good.
Yeah.
he's good.
So 5-0. Timber and Calafiori, great. Saka's finish was gross, obviously, before he went off, but that goal was, it was sort of a story for us this game, one of many stories, but every time we lost the ball, seeing the way that all of our players immediately collapsed onto where they lost the ball, like Saka doesn't score there if Declan Rice doesn't make a 10-yard run back to the Leeds player that took it from Wanyeri and win it back, drop it off to Zubamendi, to Timber, and through onto Saka's goal. But like those are important moments for any of our clubs where, regardless of who you're playing, if you lose the ball, how do you react to that, and how do you turn it into a positive? And losing it right outside the 18 there and turning around and scoring, not 10 seconds later was a big deal for us. I touched on Gyökeres' first goal, but what banter, him after scoring the pen, running straight to the camera and fixing his hair a bunch in the camera, that was incredible too. I'm super happy for him. Okay. He's going to do the same thing into the camera at Stamford Bridge too, and I can't wait for that. But I'm also very excited to see. So Odegaard went off. He was underwhelming again, but he went. Arteta took him off out of shoulder injury, but it was more he's not ruled out for Liverpool yet, but it was more like cautionary than, him actually being hurt and being out long term. So if he doesn't play against Liverpool, he'll be back after that. But Saka's hamstring, he'll be out 3 to 4 weeks, which is probably best case scenario for that. We know how hamstring injuries keep players out of games, and I feel like that 3 to 4 week span is on the lower end of that. However, knowing that he's out of there, I think that against Liverpool this weekend, we'll probably, in a perfect world, we'll see Eze on the left and Madueke on the right, which would be great, but also provides an opportunity for Max Dowman to come on and make a statement too. I thought he did very, very well when he came on against Leeds, drawing another pen.
It was a dive.
He did step on his foot, albeit he did. I watched the replay, but I will say it did look like he started going down before the guy's cleat landed on his foot. Regardless, for a player
bailed out,
for a 15-year-old player to know how to draw pens in the toughest league in the world is a big deal. Sure.
You're getting no love on this podcast, bro.
I don't care.
Do whatever you want.
There is no.
It was ask. I know that I screwed myself on that, but I really don't give a shit.
It wasn't the mask for me. It was your entire club. That's what it was for me. That's the thing.
That's crazy.
Never ignored.
Yeah.
Goes both ways, but no, I feel like for a 15-year-old making his actual Premier League debut, he looked super confident on the ball, and he could have done anything else, but for me, like, that was the one sort of thing that I paid most attention to. Like when he was getting the ball on the wings, he was taking guys on. He had 2 shot attempts, which typically you don't see out of a lot of youngsters. At least they're a little shy. They're a little more shy. But the fact that he's trying to take guys on, dribble across the top of the 18 and whip a ball in, almost had a disgusting volley off of a corner kick. Naturally we'll put him outside the box on that because he's like 5'8", but I expect to see a lot more from him soon. So,
who I was not
I agree with you. That kid's a baller.
Obviously, Odegaard wasn't at his best when Yeri came in. I wasn't super impressed with him last year. I felt like everything he did turned to gold.
He was coming in last season. He was coming in and playing on the wings. He rarely came on in Odegaard's spot, so that could be an issue, but no, he lost the ball a couple times.
Is that a spot though? Like, is he a 10 or is he more of a right winger?
I think he's always played both, but I think he personally prefers the 10. You wouldn't know it from watching those few minutes, but to my knowledge, Odegaard's spot is his preferred spot. So
we'll as soon as I saw Saka and Odegaard go down, I immediately picked him up on fantasy. So we'll see, but my guess is Trossard and Martinelli, or Trossard and Madueke will start for y'all, not Yeri. So we'll see. Big game.
We'll see. Big game. Liverpool next week. So I think that was a step in the right direction.
Big game.
What is it? Bolstering the goal differential in a league like this is always really nice too, because we know how important that is come the end of the season. So
yep. Huge game for you guys. I also think it's a big one for the depth signings that you guys have made in the last 2 years to step up and prove their price tags. So obviously we will see that game next week. The other game of the weekend, or another game that I want to talk about, I wasn't going to say the game of the weekend.
I'm sorry, Henry.
It wasn't that enjoyable to watch.
Game of the weekend, bro.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to go that route, but I forgot which game I was talking about. The United won, Fulham won.
Yeah, bro.
Henry, how do we feel? How are we feeling? Let's hear it. I obviously have some things I wanted to touch on, but I want to give you the floor, my friend.
Yeah, just looked unconvincing, to be honest with you. It was weird. We walked away with a loss against Arsenal, and I felt so good. Like, I obviously hate losing, but I was so proud of the way that we played, the way that we showed up. And against Fulham, we saw none of that for the last 80 minutes of the game. First 10 minutes, bro. First 10 minutes, we were electric. I had other people, or like other fans, or excuse me, I had fans of other teams texting me in the first 10 minutes being like, whoa, this is how you start a game. Cunha, 2 great chances to start. We're great right off the rip.
Mount.
But
I thought all of you guys, I completely agree with you. Mount's pressing, all of you guys' front threes pressing.
The combination.
I was also watching this from the airplane in the air. So I got my full attention in this game.
I digress. Yeah. But we just didn't put it together. At the end of the day, it just is what it is. Obviously, the missed penalty was bad. To me, Bruno, the entire game looked off. He looked distracted. I don't know if that's the Saudi bid coming in or the conversations of does he leave, does he not? I'm not sure, but it just was not good. We haven't seen a stinker like that from him since the Europa League final. And then prior to that, we hadn't seen it for the better part of 6 months, but it just wasn't good. And he has a lot of responsibility to take, but I think Amorim kind of made some weird subs in this game as well. I don't disagree with bringing Šeško on. Obviously, I think that that's a great call, but for a big part of the game, there was a double pivot of Bruno and Mason Mount, which I never thought that I would see. I don't understand that substitution. I don't understand not bringing Kobe Mainoo on. There's all sorts of discourse around, is Kobe Mainoo going to leave this summer? Absolutely not. He's definitely not going to leave, but I think if we could go back and do it again, I would have subbed Bruno off and brought Kobe Mainoo on. Casemiro needed to come off. He was getting a little reckless on his tackles. Definitely had an opportunity to get a second yellow. Fortunately, I forgot who even made the tackle on, but he jumped over the tackle like that. That had a second yellow written all over it, which we definitely didn't need. But yeah, I mean, I won't take too long on it, but it just was another unconvincing performance. Delo was thinking on trying to make that turn that led to the goal, bro. I have no idea. That was a really, really, really bad mistake. You would never teach that. You would never tell a guy to do that. Who, as a right back, as a right back yourself, you would never make that turn. But the bigger thing, the more inexcusable part was right before the cross, the Iwobi cross. Our back four was man marked, which was great. And then Bruno's guy was Emile Smith-Rowe, and you literally see Bruno just like do nothing. So it just wasn't his best game. I just don't think that that position really suits him. I don't think that he feels super comfortable in that number 8 role. I don't think we see the best of him. But at the same time, like, what are you going to do? You're going to bench Cunha or Mbeumo, who you just spent big money on to put Bruno in one of those 10 spots? Like, I'm not sure. Amorim has his work cut out in front of him. I'm thankful that we have Grimsley on Wednesday, which, because of where we finished in the league, we have to play whatever round of the FA Cup this is. But whatever, my guess is we'll see a fully rotated squad. We'll see a Šeško full debut. Kobe Mainoo will get some minutes. Ugarte will start. Maybe Diego Leon as well. Aiden Heaven. We'll see some good rotation. I hope we see Tom Heaton in goal, because then we have Burnley at the weekend. So I hope that Kobe gets some good minutes against Grimsley, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kobe gets some minutes this weekend as well. But I need to manage my expectations too. He's 20 years old. Amorim, historically, not just at United, but historically, he works the youth into the squad rather than just putting him in right away. So it just wasn't a good performance at the end of the day. So 1 point is better than 0 points, but I was pretty disappointed in the game as a whole.
Yeah,
Dude, the banter on this one was
crazy.
Great. It was really good, to be honest. The tweet that was like, Ugarte on, TD off, congrats Fulham.
Dude, what the fuck is up with him? Like, last year there were so many times, like, also one of the funniest texts that Dobes has ever sent is like, might have pulled the trigger a little early last year on the Ugarte jersey. Like, Ugarte made like one good tackle and he immediately ordered a jersey, but dude, like last year, like he just wasn't like this. Like this year, he looks lost. Like we were talking about Graham Potter looking lost on the sidelines. Like Ugarte's looked lost 2 straight games now. Like can't get up to speed with the play. And we need him. Like Casemiro can't play that role the whole season. We need Ugarte to come in. So I don't know. I'm hoping in the last week of the window, I'm still hoping that we sign a goalkeeper. It looks like we're going to get that Layman's guy from Royal Antwerp. Also, Hoove, I apologize. When you were talking about Spurs, I was so distracted because apparently Real Betis made an inquiry for Andre Onana, and I was losing my mind over here. So I was losing it. But yeah, it's very clear that we need to get a goalkeeper and very clear we need a midfielder. For me, the midfielder's more concerning than the goalkeeper is, but for sure, whatever.
Bruno looked like a right wing. Yeah. On that PK attempt too.
Yeah, dude. The whole
he did not do himself any
whole
favors.
Referee
with
messed
that.
Me up. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Just all you had to say is I missed it. Like because the second half of that statement was fine. I got too far under the ball. That's why it went over. That's all you have to say. Don't say, yeah, I was thrown off because the ref bumped into me. Bro, shut up.
You're a
Like,
professional.
Dude,
but I will say
that
what I'm trying to remain like level-headed on is, again, this is a results-based business, and right now Amarim's results have been nothing to celebrate. Last year for me is a write-off. Came in halfway through the season. It's going to take a lot to transform the squad, and I'm really judging him starting now, but you can't ignore the whole last half of last season. So if he doesn't really turn it around by December, there is going to be some pressure on him. He's got to make it better. So I'm choosing to trust the process. And also, like, Bruno had a terrible game. I'm not buying into the shit of like, he needs to be sold to Saudi because he had one bad game. Bruno literally saved us last year for the last 6 months of the season. So like, I'm not losing my mind off of one game.
Literally runs through him, except when Yoro gets up on corners.
But that's the thing. I'm like, dropping him into the 8 is so weird. And so I don't know. They're going to have to figure it out. But I will say, for as long as Bruno's been at United, he's played every minute of every game. We got to start subbing him off too. Like, I think Amarim really fucked up that game by not subbing him off. I think that was a bad call.
I think Amarin really hurt you guys here with his decision making as far as the subs went, because the game drastically changed when those subs came on. Yeah. And even like Marco Silva's subs for Fulham, he brings on Robinson, Wilson, Smith Rowe, and Raul Jimenez, who are
changes the game.
Those are good players right there. Yeah. And you're bringing on Harry Maguire, Heaven, Ugarte, and Sesko. Like, just a little bit different there, and it drastically changed the outcome of this game.
But I'm like, okay, so what I can't understand is, like, I agree, by the way, I agreed with bringing on Harry Maguire in the last 10 minutes of the game, especially for set pieces. I don't agree with bringing on Aiden Heaven unless, Yoro or Shaw was nursing an injury. I don't know, but, like, I don't agree with that. Why don't you bring Kobe Mainoo in for the last, 20 minutes of the game instead of Ugarte when we're chasing the game? Like, it wasn't like Fulham was just like carving through our team. Like, we still had good possession. We still had that. That's the thing.
I just don't know if Amarim has that coaching mentality to make it in this league. I don't know.
I mean,
28 Premier League games without winning 2 in a row.
It's bad, isn't it? It's really bad. But like I said,
couldn't be Frank.
Couldn't be Thomas the Frank engine, but it is a results industry, and the worst thing that could happen is if we lose against Burnley, because then we go into an international break coming off of 2 losses, 1 point in 3 games. Like,
I actually think the worst thing would be losing to Grimsley.
Well, I was looking it up. Blundell Park is, from what I understand, a very, very tough place to play.
Come on.
You guys all saw the tweets of how close it is to the river too, and someone was like, "For fuck's sake, Dallow's gonna send them straight into the Thames."
Dude, it's so bad. Just we desperately need to win against Burnley. We need to see a good performance so United Twitter can just not have a fucking meltdown for a week. Last thing that I'll say, we're playing once a week. Other than the FA Cup, we're playing once a week. When I tell you Monday to Saturday of last week, I was fucking fiending. I was foaming at the mouth to watch United play on Sunday. Like, it's all I wanted. And then, like, halfway through the game on Sunday, I was like, this is such a fucking waste of time. I was like, why am I doing this? Like, this sucks.
Welcome to the Premier League.
Yeah, such is fandom. But yeah, we'll see.
Alrighty, enough about United. Moving on to what actually was the game of the weekend. I was lying to all you guys before. I believe this one was the spicy one, which was Liverpool 3, Newcastle 2. What a back and forth action-packed game did we have. We had a red card early for Newcastle on a horrendous tackle, which obviously we'll talk about. And then a game winner in extra time from a 16-year-old from Liverpool. All right, Butchie, what are your thoughts?
Well, a lot of emotions here watching this game. And obviously we started well. Like, Gravy gets a goal early on and things are looking good. And then Anthony Gordon just absolutely rakes Van Dijk's Achilles. And I'm like,
it's like calf. It's not even Achilles. It's like,
it was a good. Yeah, it was wild.
Straight man. So obviously they go back. They he gets a red card. Completely changes the game. And Anthony Gordon,
I didn't see it live. Was it not given a red to start?
No.
No, yeah.
It was not.
Well,
yeah.
if I'm being honest, when you saw it in live, it happened so fast and he came in so hot that like you didn't really fully see if he like got him or what he cleated him with. It looked like he just ran into his legs. Like he was going so
I only
fast.
saw the replay because I was like, whoa.
Yeah, the replay, the moment you see his cleat up in his calf, you're like, oh, that is awful.
Yeah. I mean, Henry, it was really bad. Like he was so late and just raked his calf. I mean, that's a red card all day. And I remember reading the chat and somebody texted like red ? And Hoop goes 100% for sure, like red. And
no doubt.
So obviously when the red card happens, that's 45. It was at the 48th minute of the first half, right? So it's right before halftime. They get sent off. We restructure. We score right off the rip. Like right when the second half starts, we get a second goal. And I'm like, oh, this could blow up on Newcastle.
Great goal from Eketike.
Hugo.
Man can finish. Man can finish.
He's going to be a problem, man. You know, he's got 2 goals and an assist now, opening 2 games of the league. Like he's a bit obviously with the big price tag. And I'm going to add in not only the price tag, but the pressure of the Isak deal. This man is producing.
Yeah. True. We didn't even talk about how spicy this game was just for that fact alone.
It was all because of that.
St. James's Park was rocking, and they were pissed off.
Rightly so. Yeah. I mean, they don't want to lose their guy. We obviously want him, but he's pissed off at the board. Isak wants out. The board won't let him out. He only wants Liverpool. Newcastle saying no. It's a whole shit show, right?
It is.
No, when Eketike scores, we go up 2-0. I honestly thought we were going to blow them out. I thought it was going to be 4-0 with them down a man. Huge credit to Newcastle. When they got the first one, I would tell you, I won't say I was worried, but when the second one went in, yeah, I was a little worried, fellas. I won't lie. Like when Osula scored the second goal, I thought,
wow.
They
found a striker to score goals for him. They'll be fine.
How about it?
Literally. I mean, a huge credit to we all know how hard it is. We've all played our whole life, and we've all also played being down a man at some point in our careers when somebody made a dumb decision to tackle. And you know how hard that is to do, to at least claw back into a game that you're down 2 goals in. That's extremely difficult. They did it. And my honest reaction, guys, from 85th minute on when I was watching with Tim on the phone was, if we don't get 3 points, I'm going to be fucking furious, because you can't blow a 2-goal lead up a man. I know you're at St. James Park. I know it's a tough place to play, but you can't blow a lead. And the fucking 16-year-old kid, fellas, comes in the game. I mean, this kid's got he's got no peach fuzz. He's got no spinach on his face, fellas. Like, the kid comes in the game in the 99th minute and scores a game winner at St. James's Park. I mean, you can't make it up.
Dude,
he's nasty.
It was electric.
Watching him in preseason too, dude. He's nasty.
Yes. I mean, yeah. Nick, before we started, Nick was like, "Oh, Salah played a no-look pass." Like, okay, that's fine. Like, Salah got his assist. Soboslai had a huge part in that. Rio scores. I'm just super happy for the kid, man. Like, we talk about Max Dauman. I think Max Dauman's phenomenal. I think this Rio kid is going to be extremely good. And what we saw in preseason from him, like, the players were raving about him. The coaches love him. He's 16 years old. Like, am I happy about relying on a 16-year-old if we're done with our signings? Not necessarily, because I don't think you should rely on a kid unless he's Lamine Yamal, which he's not. You shouldn't rely on a 16-year-old kid like that. But if he can come in games and change the game, give him 15, 20-minute cameos. The kid's a dribbler, fellas. The kid's got elite skill.
He immediately started taking people on the moment.
He has that little bit of, like, I don't care who you are, I'm going to keep running at you. The Lamine Yamal quality for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I honestly like Arne Slot. I think in general, as like a guy and a manager, I think he totally didn't read the game the way that, it's weird to say that because, you guys are getting pressed hard, 2-1 up, and you're up a man still. That's definitely a factor. And then he subs off, 2 of your most creative players and brings on Connor Bradley and I don't remember who it was. It was early on before you let in the second one, but they didn't come in and shore anything up. Like, I think the last goal, calling it a stroke of luck, it would be wrong because it was really well worked, to be honest. Gravenberch did a great job of getting it out of his feet, to Salah. Salah beat his man, and then the Szoboszlai dummy was great. But, like, he had to have kind of understood the shift in, where the game was headed was always headed back to you guys. Like, they were pummeling you for a little bit, and those subs did not help by any means. But everything's cool and all said and done, and you toughed it out. But I've seen him do that a couple of times, and that's not uncommon for, pull off your striker, bring in a center midfielder, shore everything up, and see it out. But that time specifically, I was like, it didn't work. It didn't work at all.
Yeah.
But
you're not wrong at all. And I'm going to tell you this, from what I see this year, the first 2 games compared to last year, fellas,
he did it against Bournemouth too.
Yeah. Fellas, our defense, if we don't improve, we will not win the league. And I'm going to tell you why. Because last year we had a lot of clean sheets. We were able to coast through games. Teams that we should beat, we would hold to a shutout. We'd score 3-4 goals.
Get your big guys rest too in those games.
100%.
You're up 2-0. You can take Salah off in the 70th minute.
Yeah, but look at tonight. Milos Kerkez, his error led to a goal.
Mm-hmm.
His error led to a goal.
That was miserable defending.
Terrible defending. That's
He also didn't have a bad game
signing.
though. Didn't have a bad game though.
He, but it's the little mistakes that defensively, like, will cost us a league title if they don't get fixed. So I think Arnie's biggest thing is, like, you got to shore up this defensive structure as a group, not just your back four, but get everybody involved. Go through it at training. Go through what you need to work on. Get this team focused on, can we keep clean sheets? Can we not make mistakes? Can we not give the other team goals? Right? Can we not give them points? So if we can figure that out, we have the attacking talent like a lot of your guys' clubs do too. You guys all have clubs with so much attacking talent that will shine itself. You don't need to focus too much on that. Let them play. Defensively, get it figured out. That's my biggest worry right now. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like Arsenal next week.
I was going to say, you got a good test.
I know Saka. Yeah. I know Saka's not going to play, and that's a big loss. But I'm still a little worried because, like, if we don't figure this out, they still have
I have a feeling Gyökeres is going to be lost in Van Dijk's pocket. But
I think so too.
I have a feeling it's going to end 0-0 and be one of the worst games I've ever watched.
Honestly,
Arteta's just going to sit back. Arsenal's going to park the bus.
Liverpool might too, to be honest.
Yeah, who knows? We'll see.
I think
we ain't doing that.
Guys, I think Eketike is going to have a say in that game. I'm telling you.
For
He's
sure.
going to have a say in that game.
I need him. He's my fantasy number one draft pick.
He is a dude, man. He's going to have a say in that game.
I want to know your opinion, Butch, on, like, obviously his performances have been very, very good, and he scored goals in both of his first 2 games. What do you think about Isak? Like, do you even want him? Like, what happens if he comes in, and does Eketike be his backup? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Do you like Eketike, or do you think it's worth the $150 million for Isak?
I love both of them, but I think yeah, you should go for Isak because you got to remember, if we get him, that changes so many things. Like, you can line up in so many different ways with 2 guys that can do that.
Salah doesn't have to ghost anymore. You can sub him off.
Well,
Eketike can play on the left too, but also Gakpo's been balling too.
Yeah, he had 2 assists today.
I think it'll take a little less pressure off some guys that have felt that pressure early on this year. Do I think Wirtz has been great the first 2 games? No.
I thought he was better this game than he was.
I think he found space more in this game than the other one.
Yeah, for sure.
Guys, the kid's going to be a stud. But the thing is like right now we do need Isak because if you got 2 guys that can do it, I want you to think about coming off the bench too. Whichever one doesn't start, which would probably be Eketike for the price, obviously, Isak would play. If you can bring a guy off the bench like that who can literally get you a goal or 2 and have the impact on the game that he's been having, like the way he can play, the way he can link things up, dude, he's Zlatan, but with freaking, what do you call it, man? He's got Doves was giving him shit, cheetah hair, bro. He's Zlatan with cheetah hair, bro.
I feel like they're the same almost.
Well,
him
but
and Isak are very
I don't know.
Similar players.
I think it's going to be the John Duran effect last year at Aston Villa. One of them's going to come off the bench and bang in goals and change the game.
Change the game.
But then he's also going to piece after being in that role for too long.
I don't know, man. Like, you play, 60-something games, assuming Liverpool makes a deep run in all their competitions. 60-something games, you need that depth. And Liverpool doesn't have time to fuck around with a bottom-tier substitute. Like, They need top tier talent if they're going to go deep in all of those competitions. So yeah, it's just that, I mean, I don't think that we've really ever seen a situation like this, like the Isak situation. It's kind of it's definitely a lose situation for Newcastle. It's a lose situation for Eketike. Maybe an overall win for Liverpool, but it's just, I don't know. It's just a really weird situation. I still think that Isak, I kind of think he's going to be at Newcastle.
You might be right.
Yeah, and maybe he doesn't play until January and he goes to Liverpool.
He might hold out.
Awful for your fantasy team, Henry.
God, I would be.
He might
distraught.
hold out, dude. Like he does not want to play for the club again. Like he's like, I'm done. Like
I'm going to give it till.
Let me have my move.
Yeah, I'm going to give it till October. If he's not playing, I'm dropping him. Crazy.
Yeah, but that's all I got on my Reds. We're 6 points, baby. I'll take it. Like Hoof said,
Absolutely.
baby.
And I
fucking take it and run, baby.
Take it.
And next weekend will be a fun one for you as you take on Arsenal. I think I am very excited for that one and for the podcast next Monday to see all your guys' reactions.
Same.
But that is it for the Premier League wrap-up. I did want to give you guys a little bit of outside of the Premier League talk before we end it. Barcelona having to wear their last year's kit, hilarious, because all of the kits that they were playing against, I forgot what team they were playing, matched up and colors were too close to each other. So Barcelona had to play with their third kit of last year, which just fucking hilarious in my mind.
Funny.
Son, debut goal for LAFC. What a banger. I don't know if you saw it, Hoover, but he hit a peach of a free kick for his debut goal.
Dude, do you know how many years I watched Harry Kane shove them into the wall, bro? And the whole time, his best friend and strike
just
partner
rip him.
Had that in the locker, bro. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Insane.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. And then obviously the other one, I kind of mentioned him before, but Thomas Mueller accidentally leaking a U.S. teammate call up. Did you guys see that? I thought that was hilarious as well.
That was crazy.
He was pretty much in a
funny.
presser and leaked that one of his teammates was getting a call up to the media. Welcome to the MLS in America, Thomas Mueller. You need to be PR trained, it sounds like.
God.
Dude. And not to mention, it's a guy that none of us have ever heard of
Tristan
playing
Blackman,
wingback.
bro.
Like,
Tristan.
that's awesome.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
But
Pochettino.
that is all from the fellas this week on the Mecca of Banter podcast. As always, follow us on all of the socials, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Let's get some action in those comments. We love to chat. We love to banter. But appreciate each one of you guys. Cheers.
Cheers,
guys.
Cheers, lads.